to talk about something.
Yeah, very important topic.
Your friend, Ben Affleck. And a little thing we call Bennifer. How do you like them apples?
There's not enough liquor in the world for you to get me to say something about that.
Whatever happened at the club had nothing to do with him. And when he went outside and he was whisked into a car, in the back of the car with Miss Lopez, the gun was found in the front where two other people were.
He was great. It was almost like I was meant to meet him while I was making my first album. Because he helped me a lot. He was kind of like a mentor in a way, not a mentor, but like guided me.
Did Jennifer Lopez play a role in covering up Diddy's dark secrets? New allegations are raising eyebrows, and Matt Damon isn't holding back.
Well, he will put himself in a really bad spot for me. Like, this is a good friend.
But what does he know about J-Lo's involvement with Diddy? Why was she allegedly spotted with the gun in the infamous 1999 club shooting incident? And is she hiding more than we realize?
He was larger than life, but at first I didn't like him at all. You know, I didn't. I thought he was like, you know, it.
Could this be the reason behind Ben Affleck's discontent? And was J. Lo willing to do anything for fame?
He was great. It was almost like I was meant to meet him while I was making my first album. Because he helped me a lot. He was kind of like a mentor in a way, not a mentor, but like guided me.
Jennifer Lopez and Sean P. Diddy Combs have a history. They met on the set of her music video for If You Had My Love in 1999 before splitting in 2001 amid rumors Diddy, then known as Puff Daddy, had been unfaithful. Something Lopez later confirmed. The pair were arrested soon after they started dating following a shooting at a Times Square nightclub in December 1999 that left 3 people injured. Lopez was released from custody without being charged after 14 hours in jail, while Diddy later walked free after a 7-week trial which saw his protege Jamal Shyne Barrow, long suspected to be the fall guy, convicted and sentenced to 10 years. In a candid interview with British LA in July 2000, Lopez opened up about a harrowing experience that shook her world, describing it as a complete nightmare.
Obviously, nobody really wants to be arrested or handcuffed or, you know, go through all that kind of stuff. It's a really traumatic experience.
The aftermath of the shooting incident was not confined to emotional scars alone. Legal battles ensued, amplifying the complexities of an already distressing situation. Notably, in 2008, a staggering lawsuit amounting to $130 million was filed against Combs by one of the victims, seeking reparation for the damages incurred during the incident. Eventually, in 2011, Combs reached a settlement with all 3 individuals, including the victim, the terms of which were kept confidential. The call to reopen the case comes as Combs faces mounting legal trouble. Earlier last month, Homeland Security agents swarmed Combs' homes in Los Angeles and Miami in raids that law enforcement sources told the Post were prompted by ST allegations. Recent federal raids on Combs' residences in Los Angeles and Miami have thrust him into a whirlwind of legal turmoil.
You're looking at live pictures from the home of Sean Combs, also known as Diddy. HSI is on the scene right now. We also do have video from his home in Los Angeles. HSI Los Angeles is on scene there.
Despite his attorney, Aaron Dyer, characterizing the raids as an excessive display of force by authorities, Combs has maintained his cooperation with the ongoing investigation. Federal officials citing an ongoing investigation have yet to disclose the precise rationale behind the searches, leaving many questions unanswered. The federal agents stormed into Diddy's homes 1 month after Rodney Lil Rod Jones filed an explosive lawsuit claiming the music mogul repeatedly essayed him from September 2022 to November 2023, while Jones was a producer and videographer for the billionaire. Jones compared Combs to Jeffrey Epstein and accused the mogul of groping his genitals, grooming him into having S, and forcing him to procure S workers, strippers, and drugs. Jones alleged in his suit that Diddy was violent, threatened to eat his face, brandished guns, and most pointedly was often bragging about bribing witnesses and jurors in the criminal case concerning the 1999 NYC nightclub shooting with Shyne. The shooting stemmed from an argument between Diddy and a Brooklyn thug named Matthew Allen, who was nicknamed Scar. But Diddy, his bodyguard Anthony Jones, and Shyne endured a 7-week trial in February and March 2001, which ended with Diddy and Jones walking free and Barrow, then 21, being convicted on assault and gun possession, sentenced to 10 years in prison. Mystery still surrounds the Club New York shooting, especially for former Detective Parker, who left the so-called hip-hop cop squad at the NYPD and is now a private investigator. In any case, Diddy has been dogged for years by rumors that he made Shyne, now known as Moses Michael Levi Barrow, and who is the opposition leader of the House of Representatives in Belize, take the fall for the incident. The story was that Puff was flossing, which is what they call someone on the streets who's throwing money around and acting like a big shot, Parker said. Scar felt disrespected because he felt he was as important as Puff, and words were exchanged, and then bullets started flying. Shots were fired, and Lopez and Diddy fled the club after the shooting in a Lincoln Navigator. Diddy's driver, Wardell Fenderson, later said that he blew past several red lights as they careened down 43rd Street and onto 8th Avenue, weaving past 2 police cars. "Shyne busted off! Shyne busted off in the air," Fenderson quoted Lopez as saying, before cops pulled them over. Former NYPD Derek Parker told the Post how in the precinct, her mother was yelling at J. Lo in Spanish, and she was really mad at Bennifer. "I heard her say, 'I told you not to get involved with him.'"
The night of the shooting, that was kind of the beginning of the end of their relationship, because it then became dangerous for her career to be involved with him.
Lopez was released from custody without being charged after 14 hours in jail. Natanya Rubin, who was one of the 3 victims in the club shooting, has long insisted that Combs shot her in the face.
I literally watched them pull out the guns. I've had a clear point of view. I mean, for God's sake, I got shot in my nose. I was facing them directly. I watched everything.
Natanya Rubin, who was hit by a bullet at Club New York when the fight broke out between Diddy's entourage and a thug named Scar, claims that it was Diddy who shot her in the face. He denies it. However, Jones, in his lawsuit, claims that Diddy openly bragged about committing the shooting and bribing witnesses and jurors to secure his acquittal. Mr. Combs shared that he was responsible for the shooting in the nightclub in New York, Jones alleged. He also alleges that Diddy bragged about using Lopez to smuggle the gun into the club. He shared that artist and Mr. Combs' girlfriend at the time, Jennifer Lopez, aka J-Lo, carried the gun into the club for him and passed him the gun after he got into an altercation with another individual, Jones alleges. Diddy was backed by Glenn Beck, who was working security at the club that night and is now a martial arts expert who works with Deadly Art of Survival magazine. Beck testified at the 2001 trial, but told the Post that it appeared the prosecution was hell-bent on nailing Diddy, and therefore did not ask him about Barrow, aka Shyne. He called Jones' claims bull-ish and said, "We knew Scar. We knew Shyne. He was a wild kid from Brooklyn. Now, it looks like Lopez may get a call from Combs' lawyers." An expert told In Touch Weekly that Lopez may possess first-hand knowledge due to the New York City nightclub shooting that she and Combs were a part of in 1999. Jennifer Lopez's presence the night of the shooting incident and then departing in the same vehicle as Combs makes her a witness with first-hand knowledge and could subject her to being subpoenaed to testify under oath, New York lawyer Pete Gleason said. If there are any criminal charges or civil claims not outside the statute of limitations, this would likely prove problematic for Lopez. Lopez spoke about past abusive relationships in her 2024 documentary, The Greatest Love Story Never Told. It is unclear which ex she was referring to. "There were people in my life who said I love you and then didn't do things that were kind of in line with the word love. Being thrown around and manhandled like that is not fun," Lopez shared in the Amazon Prime doc, which hit the streaming platform in February 2024. She added, "I mean, I was never in a relationship where I got beat up, thank God, but I've definitely been manhandled and a couple of other unsavory things. Rough, disrespectful." Meanwhile, during a recent interview with Channel 5 Belize, Shyne, the rapper-turned-politician, took some time to address the infamous shooting involving the Bad Boy Records boss. "It opens wounds when you hear, the victim saying that, it was Diddy that shot her," Shyne told Channel 5. And that was triggered by a lawsuit from a producer, Lil Rod, that produced on the Love album, who is making accusations. And in those accusations, he says that the gentleman confessed to the shooting. Shyne, now the leader of Belize's United Democratic Party, says he's moved on from his conviction and deportation, but is relieved that more people are finally speaking the truth. He shared that everyone knew he was the fall guy for the NYC shooting years ago. Despite being painted as a criminal by his political enemies, Shyne insists he was just a young person who took the blame while maintaining his innocence. He explained that while he never went into specifics, the victim has now spoken out about who was responsible. Though there was no forensic testing, witnesses and the victim are clearing his name. Shyne has moved on and appreciates any help Diddy has given to Belize. He wishes Diddy well and hopes justice is served, whatever the truth may be. In a 2022 interview on Drink Champs, Shyne reflected on his past with Diddy, saying he no longer blames him as much as he once did. He believes Diddy's lawyers were more responsible for the outcome, as they were focused on securing a not guilty verdict for Diddy. Over time, Shyne forgave him, recognizing the pressures they were both under at the time.
But in retrospect, I blame it more on the lawyers that were advising him
to separate the case
than him. Because his lawyers were there, to secure a not guilty verdict by any means.
In any case, the accusations against Diddy have become more serious. And while J.Lo has never been directly implicated, her close association with Diddy during that time has raised questions. Could it be that Ben confronted J.Lo about her past, leading to their separation? In fact, according to one blind item, J.Lo was actually Diddy's weapon carrier. The blind item states, everyone knew she was lying when she testified back then. The part that is going to come back and bite her is that she actually carried the gun into the club for Diddy because they didn't check the women's bags like they pat down the men at the club. The woman who was shot in the face says she clearly saw J.Lo reach into her bag and hand the gun to Diddy for him to use. That is some major ish. Concealed carry of what is mostly like an unregistered, unlicensed gun that was used in shooting. At any rate, Lopez's career has continued to soar, but whispers of her past with Diddy and their alleged crimes have never fully disappeared. Many questioned if she had gone along with the cover-up, knowing it would protect her image. After all, Bennifer was on the brink of becoming a superstar, and a criminal scandal could have ended her career before it even took off. Was Lopez complicit because she wanted fame that badly? Friends and insiders claim that her ambition was unmatched, and she had a do-whatever-it-takes attitude. So when Diddy found himself in trouble, it wasn't too surprising that Lopez might have lent him a helping hand, even if it meant skirting the law. But is this rumor grounded in truth? Or is it just another tabloid scandal? You see, when Bennifer and Diddy got together in the late 90s, she was getting ready to release her very first album, On the 6th, in 1999. Now, J.Lo was already well known, but music was a different ballgame. She was 30 years old, which in pop star years can be considered late to start a singing career, so she knew she needed all the help she could get to break into music successfully. Before this, J.Lo had already built a reputation as an incredible dancer. She'd been working her way up in the entertainment world for a while. She danced on Yo! MTV Raps with MC Hammer and landed a job as a backup dancer for New Kids on the Block at the 1991 American Music Awards. But her big moment came when she became a part of the Fly Girls, a dance group on the popular comedy show In Living Color. The show was a huge deal in the 90s, and being one of the Fly Girls put J.Lo on the map. But she didn't want to be just a dancer. She wanted to be a superstar, and she had her eyes set on bigger things. J.Lo wasn't messing around. She got herself a manager, Eric Gold, who helped her move from dancing into acting. She started landing roles in TV shows like South Central, a comedy drama that aired in 1994, and eventually found herself in shows like Second Chances and Hotel Malibu. Soon enough, she transitioned to movies with roles in My Familia, Money Train, and Jack, where she got to act alongside Robin Williams. But her real breakout role was playing the late singer Selena Quintanilla Perez in the biopic Selena.
I'm not gonna stop seeing him dead. I'm not gonna have this in my family.
This role was huge for Bennifer. Not only did it make her the first Latina actress to earn a $1 million paycheck for a movie, but it also got her a Golden Globe nomination. She was officially a Hollywood star. But even with all this success, J.Lo wanted to be more than an actress. She wanted to sing. She recorded a Spanish-language demo, hoping to tap into her Latin roots and make it in music. This demo set off a bidding war among record labels, and eventually, Sony Music Group signed her. Signing with Sony was a big deal. They outbid other labels like Capitol Records and EMI Latin, showing they were serious about making J-Lo a star. With Sony on her side, she was ready to step into the music world. Sony didn't waste any time promoting J-Lo. They launched a massive campaign to hype her up as the next big thing. Around this time, she made an appearance in Diddy's music video for Been Around the World in 1997. At that point, Diddy was one of the most influential people in the music industry. He had single-handedly turned the Notorious Big into a superstar, and his label, Bad Boy Entertainment, was dominating the industry. He'd won 2 Grammy Awards in 1998, and his parties were legendary, attended by the most powerful people in entertainment. Dating Diddy was like winning a golden ticket to the top of the music world. J-Lo's connection to him opened doors that might have been tough to get through otherwise, especially since Diddy's label was part of Epic Records, which was owned by Sony, the very same label that signed J-Lo. It all seemed pretty convenient. Diddy was known for mentoring new artists and helping them make it big. He'd launched the careers of stars like Mary J. Blige, Usher, and later Justin Bieber. Having his support was a big deal, and it seemed to fast-track J-Lo's entry into the music scene. Looking back, when J-Lo talks about her time with Diddy, it sounds almost like she's describing a business relationship more than a romantic one. She talks about the things she learned and how much he helped her career, but not so much about the personal side of their relationship. It's almost like he was more of a manager than a boyfriend. In fact, being seen with him and having his support may have been just what she needed to establish herself as a pop star, making people wonder if their relationship was more about advancing her career than love. Once her debut album On the 6 came out, J-Lo quickly became a pop sensation. Her songs were topping the charts, her music videos were everywhere, and she was proving that she could be both an actress and a successful musician. Her relationship with Diddy gave her the credibility she needed in the music industry, and she used that momentum to push forward. Over time, people started to notice a pattern with J-Lo's relationships. Some began to question if she was strategically dating men who could help her career. After Diddy, she went on to date and eventually marry other powerful men, each time leveling up her status. And while this could just be coincidence, her rise in Hollywood has always seemed to line up with her high-profile relationships. Her journey raises some interesting questions. Did J-Lo really date Diddy for love? Or was it a strategic move to help launch her music career? Did she see the value in aligning herself with someone as influential as Diddy at a time when she was trying to establish herself as a singer?
He was great. It was almost like I was meant to meet him while I was making my first album. Because he helped me a lot. He was kind of like a mentor in a way, not a mentor, but like guided me.
While only J-Lo truly knows her motives, her career skyrocketed during her time with Diddy. It's hard to deny that his influence had a major impact on her music career. Today, J-Lo is one of the biggest stars in the world, and she's managed to become an icon across film, music, and even fashion. But her early days in Hollywood, especially her relationship with Diddy, still have people wondering, was it all part of a carefully crafted plan to reach the top? Whether it was love or strategy, there's no question that her time with Diddy helped shape her career and positioned her for the stardom she enjoys today. But where does Matt Damon come into all this? Sources speculate that Damon, a longtime friend of Ben Affleck, may have warned him about Lopez's alleged dark side. In a recent interview, Matt expressed his deep concern for Ben, hinting that Jennifer Lopez's influence might be more manipulative than we ever imagined. Matt tried to warn Ben when he got back together with J-Lo that this could happen, an insider told the Daily Mail. Matt was there to help Ben get it together after their first split, and he felt like this would happen again. The source added that Ben has always been in awe of Matt's marriage to wife Luciana Barroso for over 18 years. As things started falling apart, Matt told Ben that he supports whatever choice he makes, but wants him to jump in and focus on his work, the insider told the outlet. Ben spent so much time focusing on J-Lo's projects, just like he did the first time around. He told Ben, "What has she ever done for your career?" Continuing, the source said, Matt is the only real guy friend Ben has. He would not let him get back on the bottle and has been on him to make sure of this. The Bourne Identity actor's worries come on the heels of more and more rumors circulating that Ben and Jennifer's relationship is on the rocks. On May 15th, a source exclusively revealed to In Touch that Ben and Jennifer were headed for divorce after he moved his belongings out of their shared home. The writing is on the wall. It's over. They're headed for a divorce. And for once, Ben's not to blame, the insider said. He's focusing on his work and his kids now. Ben already moved out, and they'll likely have to sell the dream house they spent 2 years searching for. They'll never stop loving each other, but she can't control him, and he can't change her. There's no way it could have lasted, the source continued. They waited almost 2 decades to get back together, but in the end, they just couldn't make it work. They both said they'd matured and learned from their mistakes, but some of the bigger issues that tore them apart the first time remained the same. As it turned out, this source was telling the truth.
It's official. Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck have called it quits on their second time at love.
But what does Damon truly know? And why would he make these hints publicly? Some say he's fed up with Lopez's Innocence Act, while others believe he's trying to protect his friend, Ben. As for J.Lo, her alleged role in covering up Diddy's activities didn't end with the 1999 shooting. Rumors suggest that she knew far more about his dealings than anyone suspected. Reports hint that Lopez may have been aware of Diddy's ties to the criminal underworld, his rivalries, and his ruthless climb to the top. If true, it would mean Lopez kept secrets that could have toppled not only her career, but also Diddy's entire empire. From shady deals to possible involvement in illegal activities, the whispers around Diddy's dark connections have always lingered. And with Lopez by his side during some of his most scandalous moments, it's no wonder people are questioning how much she really knew. But why would Lopez stay silent? Was it fear, loyalty, or simply self-preservation? Some suggest that knowing Diddy's power in the industry, Lopez might have believed that exposing him would ruin her career. And so she allegedly turned a blind eye, covering up his crimes to secure her place in the spotlight. So where does this leave us? Jennifer Lopez's career has spanned decades with fame, glamour, and success following her every step. But the questions surrounding her past with Diddy refuse to fade. Did she carry the weapon that night? Did she knowingly protect Diddy's crimes? And how much does Matt Damon truly know about the secrets she's kept all these years? We may never get a clear answer, but one thing is for sure, this story is far from over. And as more information surfaces, the world will be watching closely to see if the truth finally comes to light. Anyway, that's it for this video, folks. Bye.